Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CM Trading. Today is January 26, 2022, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets continue massive volatility. Unbelievable. And we're rebounding right now. So I'm going to take a look at that in just a second. But looking at the major economic events of the day, today at 5 p.m. South African time out of Canada, Bank of Canada is having a rate statement. That's a interest rate statement. And then followed up at 9 p.m. South African time out of the United States, FOMC rate statement. That's the biggest number that we're looking forward to see what the rate of the Fed's going to be. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, US dollar, Aussie dollar, gaining versus USD. In terms of the indices, they are bouncing, both the NASDAQ and the Dow. Commodities, gold and oil, both showing strength. Stocks are rebounding as well. And lastly, Bitcoin bounces off key levels. Let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go, looking at the Aussie USD at a 4-hour chart. Nice break above the 8-day moving average after finally consolidating in this area. Now we're below the 30-day moving average, as you can see. Now in between that right now, if we do pop above it, then we could certainly get up to this 72.45-ish level, okay, which gives us about a 50 to 70 pip move on the upside potentially. Now the other one to go up is the GBP, but not as resilient as the Aussie dollar, trading at 135, and in between our two moving averages, the one that's been the weakest is the euro, okay, below its moving 8-day moving average, not popping at all, so showing some weakness. But again, it's the Euro USD. It's not doing much these days. It's really been, trading in a very tight range, except for the time that it went up to 114.80-ish level. Now, jumping in commodities, this is becoming very interesting because looking at gold, trading at 1845, reluctant to go down. Okay, so you keep an eye on this, because if this does gain some momentum on the upside, we could see that break up, unless the Dow Jones actually does bounce on good news. Now, looking at oil here on its highs, 86.11, and remember, when oil goes up, the markets go up. So this is really a very key area for us to break above. Now, looking at the major markets, the Dow Jones, look at this massive moves, unbelievable. Okay, from 36,600 down to 33,967, even touched 33,100. That's a 3,000 point move in 1 week. Oh my gosh. So looking at this area, we're bouncing above the 30-day moving average at this area right now on the 34,500. I would assume we would get up to this 35,400-ish level. That's my next real resistance-ish level if this does pound higher, okay? And making this double top bottom, it does look like it is going to pound higher, so keep that in mind as we continue trading there. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, also bouncing here, but it's got to clear this resistance of 14,500, okay? So we're hoping the FOMC is going to do that, rally into the FOMC, a little bit of a short squeeze there. Now, looking at the individual stocks, this is where it becomes interesting. It's a mixed bag. It's not clear what is really happening. Microsoft is dead. It is dead, 288, and not getting up while the rest of the market is bouncing. So this is something that's disconcerting, and so is Apple. Did gain a little bit. Facebook not gaining here, okay? So this is also disconcerting, and Amazon not gaining at all, okay, at 2,800 and not really bouncing above. So this is all disconcerting. This is all very concerning. Looking at JP Morgan, did get a bounce, which was more than what everything else did. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, also getting a bounce. So we're in rebounding territory, which doesn't mean that we're going back to a bull market. It just means that we're rebounding. It usually rebounds 50%, okay? Now you choose where the 50% is going to be. Is it 66,000? Is it 53,000 to 37,000? That's the biggest question, okay? Well, you've got to look at the short term and trying to assess how much further with the stocks vis-a-vis what they're doing with each other, how much further we could potentially bounce. And that's what we're looking at right now. And hopefully we'll get some good news from the FOMC with some sort of rate statement and moving forward. This is Fred Razak. And remember, this is really very important before we go, is make sure if you do decide to trade the FOMC today, just trade very responsibly. Make sure to have take profits, stop losses in place. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.